So I'm actually supposed to speak in Hindi. Till date, I have never spoken in Hindi. I have always spoken in English. So it has become my habit. So I welcome all of you to this session on this lecture on Bhagavad Gita and our life. So I have prepared a plan how I will be delivering these classes. So initially I will explain the background and the subject matter of studying Bhagavad Gita. So there is a system of studying the Shastras in the Vedic system. So we will follow that particular methodology. So I will explain to you about that methodology. So whenever we study Shastra, we perform Mangalacharan or auspicious invocations. So I will speak some verses of Mangalacharan.
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे भिज्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। तो मंगलाचरण
So Mangalacharan means auspicious invocations to have acharan or behave in Mangal, auspicious way.
इसका मतलब होता है शुभ कार्य, यानी कि मंगल आचरण
It means any auspicious activity. So when we perform Mangalacharan, we get two results. One is removal of obstacles and one is completion of the task. So we have a darshana or subject called Nyaya. There it is explained about Mangalacharan, and that section is called Mangalvad. So there it has been established by a lot of Purva Paksha and Uttar Paksha why Mangalacharan should be performed and what is its advantage and why there is a tradition of performing Mangalacharan. So that is a tradition in the Vedic system, and it is very necessary to perform Mangalacharan to remember Bhagavan and to obtain his blessings before beginning any auspicious activity. So first of all, I will tell you about 18 fields of knowledge in the Indian educational system. Vidya or knowledge, Vidya means from where we get knowledge. It comes from the root vid, by which we get the word Ved also. We also have the word Vidyalaya or school. So our human form is different from the other forms of life, because in this human form we can obtain knowledge, and the Indian Vedic system is so glorious because their education has been given the topmost place. There are many streams of education, but primarily they have been divided into 18 forms. So in this slide we can read the 18 Vidyas or 18 streams of education. There are 4 Vedas and 6 Vedangas. Then there is Mimamsa and Nyaya, Dharma Shastra and 18 Puranas. There is Ayurved, Dhanurved and Gandharva Ved and Artha Shastra. These are the 18 primary streams of education. The 18 number is extremely important. Even Bhagavad-Gita has 18 chapters. The Mahabharata war in Kurukshetra also went on for 18 days. Mahabharata also has 18 parvas or sections, and there are 18 divisions of education. So counting is from 1 to 9. If we add 1 and 8, we get 9. So these 18 streams of education make a person complete. So we will not get into the details of these 18 divisions of knowledge education. Bhagavad-Gita contains the essence of all the 18 Vidyas. So the reason I explained about these 18 Vidyas is that why Bhagavad-Gita is so important. Bhagavad-Gita has emanated from the lips of Bhagavan himself.
जो है उसको अध्ययन करना चाहिए पूरे
Gita should be studied. All the major religions of the world, they don't have any single scripture which can be compared to Bhagavad-Gita. All aspects of life have been covered in Bhagavad-Gita, although there are only 700 verses. But Bhagavan has included everything in these 700 verses. There are thousands of commentaries of Bhagavad-Gita. Even currently new commentaries are being written, and this commentarial tradition will continue in future also. So Bhagavan is Ananta, which means unlimited. His glories are unlimited. His pastimes are unlimited. So Bhagavan's words also have unlimited meaning. When you go to the ocean, you will fill up, if we go to the ocean, we fill up the vessel according to its size. although ocean has unlimited amount of water, but one with a bigger vessel will take more water, one with smaller vessel will take small amount of water. So Bhagavad-Gita contains an ocean of knowledge and wisdom, and every person according to his knowledge, according to his interest, will take the knowledge. Actually, there is no limit to the amount of wisdom in Bhagavad-Gita. The more we study, the more we will get new insights from Bhagavad-Gita. Because Bhagavad-Gita has emanated from the lips of Bhagavan, and it is self-manifested. So Bhagavan did not make any separate effort to speak Bhagavad-Gita. This is the knowledge of his heart, and it just appeared automatically from him. So Bhagavad-Gita self-manifested from Bhagavan to give knowledge to his devotee. Gita is so glorious and so important that all the religious traditions that we have, whether it is of Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Nimbarka Acharya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the great acharyas, they have written commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. So there has been a system in India that there has been a system in India that acharyas, the bona fide paramparas, they have written commentaries on 3 books. These 3 books are collectively known as Prasthanatrayi. Prasthanatrayi is the highway road to achieve Bhagavan or to achieve moksha, which means liberation. So Prasthanatrayi is the royal road. It is Raj Marga or the highway. So to achieve the absolute truth, there are three paths: Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita. So the final part of Vedas, the ultimate part, is known as Vedanta, and Vedanta's another name is Upanishads, and there are 10 principal Upanishads, although there are 108 Upanishads, and there are more than that also. Earlier there were 1180 Upanishads, but currently around 220 are available, others have been lost. Out of these 220, 10 are principal Upanishads, and there are commentaries on these Upanishads. So because it is very difficult to understand Upanishads, Sri Vyasadeva, who divided the Vedas, wrote Mahabharata and Puranas. He included the essence of all the Upanishads in Brahma Sutra, which is also called Vedanta Sutra. So the meaning of Upanishads has been harmonized in Brahma Sutra. But Brahma Sutras are very small. Sutra means like a thread. Okay, it is as thin as a thread. So to understand the sutra, we need explanations, which are commentaries. So there are 6 characteristics of a sutra, out of which the first characteristic is Alpa Akshara, which means that it has very few words. So for common man, it is very difficult to understand the meaning of sutra. That's why our great acharyas have written commentaries on sutras. These commentaries are known as bhashyas. So there has been a tradition in the Vedic system that anybody who is accepted as and worshipped as an acharya, he has written commentaries on these books. First the Brahma Sutra and then Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, which is actually not an Upanishad, rather it is a part of the Mahabharata, but Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad because it is the essence of the Upanishads. Vedas have appeared from the mouth of Bhagavan. The four Vedas are considered as the breath of Bhagavan, not just as words, they have appeared as the breath of Bhagavan. So Gita also has appeared from the mouth of Bhagavan. That's why it is so important that all the acharyas have written commentaries on Bhagavad-Gita. Any acharya who wants to establish his opinion on spirituality, he establishes his opinion by writing commentaries on these three books. So Gita is accepted by everyone, irrespective of whoever is the worshipable deity of anybody. Whether somebody accepts the personal form of Bhagavan or the impersonal aspect, or somebody is a worshipper of Vishnu, Shiva or Devi, but everybody accepts Bhagavad Gita. In no sampradaya there is any acharya who has not written commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So even if some acharya has not written a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, but definitely he has accepted Bhagavad Gita as a praman. So Bhagavad Gita is a non-sectarian shastra. It was spoken 5,250 years ago. So the religions which we call today religions like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, all these religions did not exist when Bhagavan spoke Gita. From this we also understand that Bhagavad Gita is not just for Hindus. Today it is widely accepted that Bhagavad Gita is a Hindu scripture, but that is not true. Bhagavad Gita is a scripture for every human being. The teachings that Bhagavan has imparted in Bhagavad Gita are useful for every person. Nowadays, many people in India oppose whether we should teach Gita in schools or not because it is a Hindu scripture, but this reveals their narrow-mindedness. Because they have not studied Bhagavad Gita, they don't understand that there is nothing in Bhagavad Gita which is against any religion. In fact, anything good which exists in any religion is actually in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita contains such pearls of wisdom which are not to be found anywhere else. That is why every person should study Bhagavad Gita, and I will speak more on why we should study Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is in the Smriti section of the Prasthanatrayi. Another point is that all the scriptures that we have, they follow a system. This system contains 2 points of view. So there are 2 points of view in the Shastras which are called Purva Paksha and Uttara Paksha. Like currently we see in Parliament that there are 2 sections in Parliament, ruling and opposition party. So there is a left wing and a right wing. Similarly, in our Shastras don't speak one-sided. There is liberty to ask questions in Shastras. We will see in Bhagavad Gita also that time to time Arjun keeps asking questions to Bhagavan. Although Bhagavan said to Arjun that earlier I spoke this Gita to Sun God, but Arjun immediately asked him that how is it possible that you spoke it to Sun God? Because Surya, Sun God, is much more older to you. So it is not that because Bhagavan is speaking something, I am bound to just accept it. There is liberty to ask questions and get clarification. So in Vedic system, knowledge is not forcibly imposed on the student. The student has liberty to ask questions. Even Bhagavan tells in Bhagavad Gita that the student who does not clarify his doubts, he cannot perfect his life. So we should clarify our doubts so that we can walk on the spiritual path without any hesitation. If we have doubt in our mind, then we cannot invest our full energy on the spiritual path. So if you are eating food and you come to know that there is poison in the food, will you eat that? No, because you will have doubt that if I eat this food, what will happen to me? I can fall sick, I may die. That is why first of all it is important to clarify the doubts. That is why in our Shastras, the doubts are called Purva Paksha. It means the person who is not agreeable to my point of view, that person will raise questions. And I have to satisfy him by answering his questions. And I have to convince him that what I am speaking is the truth and what you are speaking has flaws. So the final decision that is made, the conclusion that is given, that is called Uttar Paksha. So our Shastras are taught in this system of Purva Paksha and Uttar Paksha. Even the commentators, when they write commentaries, first of all they raise the Purva Paksha or the doubts, and then so the commentators, they understand that these questions are possible to be raised by the students, so they themselves raise the questions and then they themselves give the answers also. So we will be dealing more on this.
चतुष्टय। तो जो भी ग्रंथ लिखा जाता है, जैसे आजकल जो पुस्तक लिखते हैं, तो पुस्तक लिखने के बाद में फिर वो उसके ऊपर एक इंट्रोडक्शन लिखते हैं।
So whenever somebody writes a book, he writes an introduction to the book. Introduction means the subject matter of the book. In Sanskrit, it is called Bhumika.
तो भूमिका का क्या मतलब होता है? भूमिका भूमि शब्द से आई है।
The word Bhumika comes from the word Bhumi. So in the olden days, the buildings which were made, they were made at a little higher, at a more height. So currently, like we see, there is flood in Vrindavan. So the deity of Bhagavan is installed at a very higher position. So the pujari has to climb the steps and to go inside the temple, and also climb some steps to go inside the sanctorum. So these steps, they are called Bhumika. It means that when we have to go to a higher platform, we need a help, and these steps provide the help. So in the textbook, Bhumika means that in order to enter the subject matter of the textbook, few points are told in advance. So the Bhumika or introduction contains 4 topics. The first topic is Adhikari. Adhikari means who is the eligible reader or the student for the book. Every book is not meant for everybody. Currently, we see that in schools, colleges, universities, there are so many books which deal with various topics, but every book is not for every student. So, according to the stream you choose, whether medical or engineering, accordingly you will choose your textbook. So that's why in Vedic system, there is a tradition that anybody who does Mangalacharan before starting his book, then after Mangalacharan, he writes the introduction and explains these 4 topics. That who is the eligible student, what is the subject matter, what is the purpose, and what is the relation of the book with its subject. So first of all, we have to understand who is the eligible audience for Bhagavad-Gita. So one who does not have faith in this book should not study this book. Nowadays, there is a very bad section of people in our country who they raise a lot of allegations against Bhagavad-Gita and speak a lot of nonsense about Gita. So actually they have not understood Gita and they don't have the eligibility to study Gita. So if a lower grade student is given a textbook of a higher grade, he will not be able to understand. So that is why to understand Bhagavad-Gita also we need some eligibility. And the first eligibility is Shraddha, means faith. Those people who do not want to hear Bhagavad-Gita, who do not want to study Gita, according to Bhagavan, they should not be told Bhagavad-Gita. And Bhagavan says that one who is envious of me, he should also not study Bhagavad-Gita, because from even while studying Bhagavad-Gita, he will simply be envious of me, and it will cause his degradation. He will fall down further, because Shastra says that one who finds fault in Bhagavan, he falls down. So there will be no harm to Bhagavan, there will be no harm to Gita. It is for the benefit of the audience only that it is said that only one who is faithful, he only should study Bhagavad-Gita. So one who is inquisitive, one who is faithful, Bhagavad-Gita is for him. Bhagavad-Gita is not for any Hindu, Muslim or anybody, but any human being who is inquisitive and who has interest in studying Gita, Bhagavad-Gita is for him. So second point is Vishaya, which is the subject. As such, there are many subjects in Bhagavad-Gita, but primarily they have been divided into 5 categories. First, there is explanation of Ishwar or God. Second is the Jiva or the spirit soul, that is we, who are we. It contains explanation of Prakriti or material nature, that this material world which is made of material elements, what it is. It contains explanation of Samay, or which means time. So that is very important, because our life is moving ahead according to time. All our activities are within the boundary of time. And the final topic in Gita is karma or action. So primarily Bhagavad-Gita contains explanation of these 5 topics, and all the 5 are very important. So we may think that what is the use of understanding ourselves? It is very important, because if I don't understand myself, I will remain in ignorance. Every person wants to be happy. Even the most foolish person will never say that I want to live miserably. Everybody wants to live happily. But if I have to live happily, first of all, I have to understand who am I. So today all the knowledge that we have, it is called apara or material knowledge. That is also a vidya, that is also a knowledge. And Bhagavad-Gita contains explanation of even material knowledge. Out of the 5 topics, one topic is Prakriti or material elements, material energy. Even that is explained in Gita. All the science and technology that exists today, it only concerns about Prakriti or material nature. It has no explanation of Jiva, the spirit soul, and the karma, the action. Although there is some explanation about time, but our life revolves around, our life is made of these 4 topics. We are the Jiva, and the material world is being run by Bhagavan or God, and we cannot move outside the boundaries of time. And there is karma, any action that we perform, it gives a reaction. Like on earth there is gravitational force, and gravitational force applies on us. We can go anywhere on earth, but we are affected by gravity. We are bound by the law of gravity. If we stand on the roof, and if we move a little bit outside the boundary, we will fall down. Whether we have faith or not that we will fall down, but we will surely fall down, because the law applies on us. Similarly, there is law of karma, whether we are Hindu or anybody else, but the law of karma applies on us. So whether we have faith in him, faith in that or not, it does apply to us. so many instruments have been invented by understanding the law of gravity, and we have taken so much advantage of those technological instruments. Similarly, Bhagavan goes very deep into explaining these topics in Bhagavad-Gita. So Bhagavan says that I will explain karma in such a way that you will go beyond inauspiciousness. So whatever karma we perform, we will definitely get its result. We cannot stop the result of our karma. So this Karmanyevadhikaraste verse is very famous in India. We know its first line, but we don't know its second line, and we don't understand the meaning of even the first line properly. So we have the adhikar in karma, but what about the fruit? So when it comes to the fruit of karma, there is involvement of Ishwar or God. So that's why we have to understand God also. Otherwise, why is it that we don't get success in every action that we perform? If the fruit of action would have been in my control, then I would have been successful in every activity. Every person would have been successful. But that is not the reality. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we fail. So that means that there is a higher power above me. Whether I don't, even if I don't accept Bhagavan, at least I have to accept the law of karma. And karma is a material, it is a material element. It does not work on its own. There is somebody needed who will operate that law of karma. Just like when we walk on the road, there are some traffic rules, but the traffic rules have not self-manifested. Somebody has framed those rules. Similarly, the law of karma has not dropped from the sky. Somebody has made it, and whoever has made it, he makes sure that he operates it. Just like when we break the traffic rules, we have to pay a fine. That is why it is very important to understand the law of karma. That is why Gita is extremely important for every person. Why it is very important? It is not for the benefit of Bhagavan. It is for the benefit of the student. Because what we want to obtain in life actually, that is given in Bhagavad-Gita, how to become happy. People think that if we have objects of sense gratification, we will become very happy. But Bhagavan says no. Obtaining objects of sense gratification is one thing, but how to do gratification, that is another thing. If we don't know how to enjoy the objects of senses, then those same objects of senses will become the cause of our disease. Most of the diseases which exist today, they exist because of bhoga or sense gratification. So we have left yoga. So when we leave yoga, then bhoga gives us roga. Bhoga is sense gratification and roga is disease. So Gita teaches us how to live life peacefully, happily. So Gita is for us. This is the subject of Gita. So why I am explaining about this? Because many people may think that what have I got to do with Bhagavad-Gita? Why should I hear this book? So it is for our own benefit. And what is prayojan? Prayojan means the final objective or final result that we will obtain. So what we will obtain? We will obtain that for which we are running around day and night. We go to schools, colleges, universities, foreign countries. We spend lakhs of money and we keep studying for 15-20 years. And what do we get out of it? We earn money. These educational institutions don't teach us how to lead the life, how to utilize the money that we are earning. So this is a major problem. We learned how to earn money, but we never learned how to properly utilize money so that that same wealth does not cause us trouble. we just have one idea in our mind that if we have money, we will be happy. This is the big misunderstanding. Money will give us happiness only when we understand how to utilize it properly. If we don't understand how to utilize money properly, money will become the source of our misery. There are so many millionaires and billionaires in this world who are extremely miserable. I know so many millionaires who are simply miserable. Externally, it seems that they have everything. They may be roaming around in a Ferrari. They have multiple buildings. They have separate buildings for summer season, separate for winter season. They have no dearth of money. But what will money do? Money is outside of us. Money is not inside us. Money is outside us. And peace is in the mind. So peace has to come in the mind, but money cannot force peace inside the mind. So the path of becoming peaceful is given in Bhagavad-Gita. By understanding Bhagavad-Gita, we will get peace. The peace formula is given in Bhagavad-Gita. That is why on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjun became peaceful after hearing Bhagavad-Gita. Earlier he was so miserable. Sambandha is a little different type of topic. It means the relation between the book and the subject matter of the book. This is a new topic which mostly people do not understand. So as I said earlier, that first I will explain the introduction and time to time I will speak on these topics. So we have to understand that there is a shabda or a word and the word carries its meaning. So generally what people called as word meaning, they don't understand. People think that word meaning means by opening a dictionary we get the meaning. Actually, that is not called meaning. So please try to understand this carefully. This is very important. People think that the meaning of the word is another word. So in Sanskrit we have jal and pani for water. So somebody may say that jala means pani. But that is just another word. It is not artha or it is not the meaning. Artha or meaning means that which the word wants to convey. So if I say utter the word jala, it is a word that I am speaking from my mouth. And the meaning is that object which we are drinking. So the object which is obtained from rivers, canals, or from the tap, or from the Bisleri bottle and which is filled in a vessel, that object is the artha or the meaning actually. And what we speak from our mouth, that is the shabda or the word. So there is a relation between this word and the artha. So if I say mango, mango is a word. So when we hear the word mango, what comes in our mind? Does another word come in our mind? No, an object, the image of an object comes in our mind. So we get the image of a fruit that we have eaten earlier. We get remembrance of that fruit, the taste of that fruit. Our mouth may become watery. So what is coming in our mind by hearing the word mango, that is the remembrance of the word. That is also not the artha or the meaning. Because I already know the meaning of that word, that is why an image or a picture is being formed in my mind. So that is because of that knowledge which I already have. That's why every word has an artha or meaning. So when I say mango, mango is a word. So mango can be written by combining the alphabets. So that is the sound of the word. And the object that we eat, the object that we can see, that we can touch and feel, we cannot touch and feel the word, but we can touch and feel the object. Word can only be heard, word cannot be eaten. What is eaten is that object. So the object that we are eating, the object mango, is actually the meaning of the word mango. So these two are different, but these two have relation, and this relation is known as jnana. So what is jnana? So jnana or knowledge means the relation between the word and the artha or meaning. So this is in Sanskrit called triputi, between the shabda artha, the jnana. So if I don't have the jnana or knowledge, I will not understand what is the artha of the word. So artha does not mean the written meaning. Artha, by artha I mean that object of that word. So if somebody has never experienced a mango and he hears the word mango, he will wonder, what is this mango? So jnana means the relation between the shabda, the word, and the artha, the meaning. Like in childhood, our parents taught us by indicating the nose that this is nose. So the child establishes a relation between the shabda, the word nose, and the nose on the body. If he is taught that this is called hand, he makes a relation between the word hand and the hand of the body. But this is also not real knowledge. Knowledge has two aspects. One is called shabdik gyan and one is called anubhavi gyan. So shabdik gyan means gyan or knowledge obtained from the word, that there is a word mango and it has these characteristics. And one is experiential knowledge or anubhavatmak gyan, experiential knowledge, which we gain by experiencing the object mango. So there is a lot of knowledge that we have gained just by hearing the shabdik gyan, like our knowledge about different countries where we may not have gone, not have experienced that. That is simply shabdik gyan, which we have just heard, but we have not experienced it. So we may have heard of various items of food that we have never eaten. So there are two aspects of knowledge. One is just hearing and one is experiencing. So first is shabdik gyan, what we hear, and then comes experiential knowledge, the anubhavatma gyan. So our objective is to reach till experience, anubhava. So that is why it is said that first get shabdik gyan, first hear Bhagavad-Gita, first understand what it is speaking, and then we have to experience it. So for experiencing it, we have to follow some prescribed process. That is also explained in Bhagavad-Gita. So as I said, the four topics of the introduction, and one of the topic is Vishaya or subject. So subject also contains the explanation of how to realize or experience this knowledge. So Bhagavan says that I have two bodies. One is Shabdik, one is the word incarnation, and one is this personal form. So Gita is the word incarnation of Bhagavan, the Shabda Rupa. So Shabda also has energy. Sound has energy. So when we hear any Shabda or sound, so there is some vibration in the body. Even if we don't know its meaning, even if we hear a song and we don't understand the meaning of the song, we may feel nice. Now somebody may say that you don't know the meaning of the song. How can you say that it's a nice song? So often we hear Shabda or sound and it may not have some major effect. So if we know the meaning of the shabda or the sound, then it has more effect on us. So sound has its own inherent energy. So when we perform japa or kirtan, that is based on the energy of the sound. It is also known as Shabda Brahma in Shastra, or the Shabdik form of Bhagavan. So if we become expert in understanding this, if we become expert in understanding the Shabda form of Bhagavan, then we can enter into the Parabrahma form. So the Parabrahma form of Bhagavan is called Satchidananda Vigraha. Every person in his life wants three things: Sat, Chit and Ananda. Sat means I want to be eternal. I don't want to die. No matter how much a person falls sick or he is diseased, he does not want to die. Even if the person is not able to breathe and oxygen is put in him, still the person does not want to die. He wants to live. So that is Sat. Sat is Satta, existence. So nobody wants to lose his existence. This is not taught in the school that you should not die, you should always want to live. No, this is already there in us. Chit knowledge, everybody wants to get knowledge, even if it is material knowledge. The student keeps studying the same subject again and again. So anywhere we go, anybody we meet, we want to get some knowledge. And the third is Ananda. Everybody wants to be in Ananda or in bliss. So these are the three things we want in life. Money, why we want money? Simply because it will give us happiness. Money itself is not happiness. Whether it is in rupee currency or dollar, ultimately it's a piece of paper. So what is the Ananda or bliss in the piece of paper? But government has given a recognition to that piece of paper that it carries a certain value. If government tells from tomorrow that this paper will not have any value, then it will be zero. If the currency paper would have some inherent value, then nobody would be able to destroy its value. So earlier there were objects of gold, silver.
तो ये रुपया कम शब्द है, इसका मतलब चांदी होता है.
So the word rupaya that we have in India, it actually comes from silver. So when it comes to gold, silver, then government cannot say that no, now its value is zero, it doesn't carry value. But it can do that for paper. In case of paper, the governor of Reserve Bank issues a promise that this paper carries this much of value. But if the government declares that from next day this paper will not have any value, then the governor of Reserve Bank can't do anything. So the reality has to be actually experienced. I was actually talking of bliss. The form of Bhagavan is Satchidananda. So actually every person is searching Bhagavan only. Even the atheist will never say that I want to die. Even the atheist will not deny that he wants knowledge, he wants bliss. So whether you accept Gita or not, whether you accept karma or not, whether you accept Bhagavan or not, actually you want this Sat, Chit and Ananda only. And if Bhagavan is explaining how to get this Sat, Chit and Ananda, then that is what Bhagavan is explaining in Gita. So why do you reject it? That is why this Tripiti has to be understood carefully. That is the Shabda, Artha and the Jnana. The word, the meaning and the relation. So the next topic will be why we should study Bhagavad-Gita, and we will take it up in the next session, that why we should study Gita. Our life is a battle or a war, and we have internal battles and we have external battles. That's why I gave this title to this session, Gita and Our Life, because we may think that Gita was for Arjun, but here we have to understand that we are ourselves that Arjun, and Gita is for us, and we should not think that what have we got to do with Gita. So here I end my lecture, and if anybody has any question, you can ask.
प्रकृति और जड़ वस्तु में क्या संबंध है?
प्रकृति और जड़ वस्तु एक ही है।
The question is, what is the relation between Prakriti or material nature and Jada Vastu or inert element? So both are same. Jada Vastu or inert element, inert matter is the extension of Prakriti. So just like we make vessels of matter, inert matter, that is also Prakriti only.
What is your recommendation for senior citizens to lead a better life? What is your recommendation for senior citizens to lead a better life?
वही तो ये विषय, उसी के लिए तो भगवत गीता पढ़नी है।
So the question, what is your recommendation for senior citizens to lead a better life? So that's what we are going to study here. This is the subject of Bhagavad-Gita, our life, how to lead a better life. Gita is meant for that. So this is not this is Bhagavan's recommendation. Study Bhagavad-Gita. My recommendation may be wrong, but Bhagavan cannot be wrong. So Bhagavan is all-knowing. So the first right attitude to study Bhagavad-Gita is we should have inquisitiveness. So it is the hunger for knowledge. So in Sanskrit we have this word bhubuksha. In Hindi it is called bhuk, that is hunger. It means the desire to eat. So jignyasa is the thirst for knowledge, the hunger for knowledge. So you should have that hunger for knowledge. Second is shraddha. So if we don't, that is faith. If we don't have faith in the book, then we will not accept its knowledge. So these two are important, inquisitiveness and faith.
So when we are searching for Sat Chit Anand, then does that mean we want to become Bhagavan or we want to see Bhagavan?
We want to have experience.
So the answer to this Satchidananda question is that we want to experience. Just like if we want to eat mango. So do we want to experience the taste of mango or we want to become mango? Nobody will say that I want to become the taste of mango. Will say that I want to experience the taste of mango. That's how we want to experience Bhagavan. We don't want to become Bhagavan. That is what it means to search for Satchid Ananda or obtain Satchid Ananda. And we can't become Bhagavan. Anyway, that is not possible. So please do not hesitate in asking questions.
But it is required that we involve our life in earning money. So how can we reconcile this in our daily life?
तो मैंने पहले ही कहा था ये कि
So I already said that I never said that you don't need money or you should not earn money. I said that we have to learn how to utilize money. That's what we have to learn. Just like food. I'll give a simple example. When we eat food, food gives us nutrition. it gives strength to the body. And if it is quality food, we even enjoy it. But if we misuse the food, then the food will become cause of disease. It is said disease comes from food, excessive food. So if we eat excessively, or if we eat the wrong food, or if we eat at the wrong time, or if we eat it or if we take the wrong combination, just like taking lemon soda with milk. So like this, there are many wrong combinations of food. So then that food will become cause of disease. The food which would have given us nutrition, it will give us disease then. So all the different home remedies, they are ultimately different items of food only. They may be some spices or some other elements of food. They can give strength to our body, they can give nutrition, they can remove disease, but they can even cause disease. Just similarly, money. Actually, there is nothing good or bad in anything. So if we have a knife is good or bad, it will depend on how it is utilized. So there is a use for poison also. The poison which can kill us, even it has some utility. Poison is also used in some medicines. So money is neither good nor bad. So good or bad is inside us, and we have to understand how to utilize objects properly.
यस, बोलिए।
मेरी आवाज आ रही है गुरुजी?
जी,
आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है गुरुजी? प्रणाम।
प्रणाम।
आपका जो प्रवचन है मेरा सर, उसमें एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि संसार में हम आए हैं, हम अपने जो कर्म करते हैं उसका हमें फल मिलता है। तो कोई इंसान इस जिंदगी में आया और मैं अपनी नजर में देखता हूं कि उसके कर्म भी अच्छे हैं, सोच भी अच्छी है, खूब जिंदगी में उसने सेवा पानी किया, उसके बाद में भी वो पूरी जिंदगी में मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि वो कष्ट में क्यों रहता है। उसका क्या कारण है कि उसने इस जिंदगी में क्यों उसको तकलीफ मिल रही है, जबकि उसकी सोच विचार।
So the question is that I see people who are very nice in this world, they perform good karma, but why do they suffer so much? So the primary reason for
उनकी सोच अच्छी है, ये है, ठीक है, वो वास्तव में उनको अज्ञान है। और अज्ञान किस चीज का है? क्योंकि हर एक आदमी तो कोई नहीं कह सकता कि मैं अज्ञानी हूँ। हर एक आदमी को कुछ ना कुछ तो ज्ञान होता ही है। कोई भी पूर्ण रूप से अज्ञानी नहीं है, पूर्ण रूप से ज्ञानी नहीं है। हर एक आदमी के पास में कुछ ज्ञान है, कुछ अज्ञान है। तो मैं जब कहता हूँ अज्ञान के कारण, तो वो मैंने जो 5 विषय बताए, ईश्वर क्या है, कर्म क्या है, जीव क्या है, काल क्या है, प्रकृति क्या है, इसका जब तक अज्ञान रहेगा तब तक आप अच्छे हो बुरे हो, आप समस्याओं से जूझते रहेंगे। क्यों जूझते रहेंगे? वो इसी प्रकार है कि आपको हम एक कार में बैठा दें और कार चल रही है, लेकिन आपको कुछ भी ज्ञान नहीं है कि कार को कैसे कंट्रोल किया जाए, इसका स्टीयरिंग कहाँ है।
If a car is running and I don't have any knowledge how to navigate a car, how to use a car, then the car wherever it will go, even if I am a good person, there may be accident in the car. So until I have knowledge of the subject matter, I may be good, bad, wealthy, poor, it doesn't matter. So the ultimate cause is ignorance. Ignorance is the cause of all problems in life, and in order to get rid of this ignorance, Bhagavan has spoken Bhagavad-Gita, and we have to understand it carefully. So Bhagavad-Gita has nothing to do with pregnancy or not pregnancy. During pregnancy, if you study Bhagavad-Gita, it will have effect on your child. So your child will get good consciousness. Even if you do not understand Bhagavad-Gita, you can recite Bhagavad-Gita. So Shabda has its own energy. Even if we do not understand the meaning of the word, but even reciting Bhagavad Gita will have lot of effect. So we should recite Bhagavad-Gita.
ऐसा है कि मैंने इसी पर मैं चर्चा करता हूँ कि शब्द के अनेक अर्थ होते हैं.
Can artha be called Vishay? Can meaning be called subject? So as I explained, a word has many meanings. So in English, earth means this earth on which we are standing or sitting.
तो अर्थ का मतलब पैसा भी होता है. अर्थ का मतलब
Artha, the words earth in Sanskrit also means money. In Sanskrit, artha also means objective or what we want to obtain. It can even mean subject. So it depends on the context. What meaning do we take for a certain word?
Is there a specific Bhagavad-Gita commentary that we could read as Babaji Maharaj teaches in this program?
कमेंट्री बहुत है. मैं
So there are many commentaries on Bhagavad-Gita. If you want to study in Hindi, you can study the Sadhak Sanjeevani of Sri Ram Das Ji. I have
अभी मैंने गीता का अनुवाद किया, मेरी अंग्रेजी में भी.
So I have published this English translation of Bhagavad-Gita, and its Hindi translation is also going on. So I have a book which is a commentary on the first chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. If you want to study in Hindi, I suggest the Sadhak Sanjeevani edition of Ram Das Ji.
And there are two questions related to money. What is the proper use of money? We can't get to know till what limit we should earn money, because the mind always wants more. So how to decide till what point to earn?
तो पहले आपको अपने जीवन का उद्देश्य निर्णय करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि जब तक
So
आप
first of all, we have to understand the objective of life. As long as we do not have a clear goal in life, no matter how much we earn, we will always feel it is less only. Whether we are Elon Musk or Bill Gates, even they also have a lot of money, but still they feel they want more. Although we may feel that if we earn like them, we will be very happy, but they don't feel like that. So this is a big trap. We have to fix a clear goal in our life. What do we want? First of all, we have to understand that we want to be happy. So in order to be happy, what all I have to do? So first of all, we have to prepare that list. We have to prepare a clear plan. Unless we don't know where we want to go, we will be let in the herd mentality. Whatever others are doing, we will feel we should also do that.
तो अपने उद्देश्य में फिक्स रह जाएंगे तो उसी से आपको आनंद आएगा. वास्तव में आनंद आता है भगवान की भक्ति में.
So actually what we want is happiness, and really happiness is obtained in the bhakti of Bhagavan. I will not go into detail because that will come up in our discussion of Bhagavad-Gita.
स्वामी जी प्रणाम. मैं डॉक्टर नरेश शर्मा बोल रहा हूँ स्वामी जी, नोएडा से.
बोलिए डॉक्टर नरेश जी.
स्वामी जी आपको कोटि कोटि प्रणाम. आप इतना दिव्य ज्ञान हम पर कृपा कर कर हम अपने घर बैठे सुन पा रहे हैं. आपको कोटि कोटि नमन. स्वामी जी आपने कहा सत्य चित्त आनंद. तो सत्य का मतलब तो स्वामी जी ट्रूथ बताते हैं.
So you told about Sat, Chit and Anand, and you told Sat means existence. Just like you said on ventilator, every person wants to live. So what does Sat mean? Does it mean to live? So there are two words. One is Satya and one is Sat. So you are talking about Satya, but I was talking about Sat. Sat means existence. It comes from the root ats of. It means to be.
इसकी सत्ता है
जी.
ये है यहाँ पर. ये मतलब कोई खाली
So to.
इमेजिनरी नहीं है.
So the word means to be. So each of us want to be, we want to have our existence.
तो एक तो वो ईश्वर है और ईश्वर आनंद है, और चित्त स्वामी जी
ज्ञान।
अच्छा, तो ईश्वर ज्ञान है, आनंद है और वो है
इटर्नल है।
जी स्वामी जी। जी स्वामी जी, बहुत बहुत प्रणाम, अपनी कृपा और आशीर्वाद बनाए रखना।
धन्यवाद सुनने के लिए, और दूसरों को भी सुनाइए, क्योंकि इससे आपका कल्याण होगा। दूसरों को सुनाने से
प्लीज कन्वे द मैसेज ऑफ भगवद गीता टू अदर्स आल्सो, बिकॉज दैट विल बी ऑस्पिशियस फॉर अदर्स।
Interested in Bhagavad-Gita? And the other question is, my kid is 3 years old. At what age should we start Bhagavad-Gita teaching to our kids? Also, how does it help them in their school life?
तो पहले जो है आप उनको कहानी सुनाइए।
So first of all, we should tell stories to children, because Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. Children like to hear stories, so we should tell him stories from Mahabharata. Mahabharata contains so many stories. In next session, we will discuss about that. Bhagavad Gita is not an independent book. Bhagavad Gita is simply the 18 chapters inside Mahabharata in the Bhishma Parva. So first of all, tell stories to children and explain the meaning of the stories to children. For that you also have to work hard. You should know the meaning of those stories. If you yourself don't know the meaning behind those stories, how will you explain? So first of all, you get knowledge and then you give knowledge. So tell them stories and explain the philosophy behind the stories. I have a small book called Hitopadesh. It contains many stories which will be very interesting for children. It contains stories for tortoise, deer, various animals. Stories are there. But there is a lot of deep wisdom behind those animal stories in Hitopadesh. Like that, there are many stories in Mahabharata also. So you should tell stories to children. From Bhagavad Gita, how can I fulfill the objective of life? Answer, for that you have to be little patient and hear the classes.
From class 7, I want to ask you a question that how many times is necessary for reading the Bhagavad Gita?
Your voice is not clear.
Sir, how many times is necessary for reading Bhagavad Gita?
How many times?
Babaji, he is asking how much time is required for one to read through Bhagavad Gita. He is from class 7th of the Jiva public school.
How much time? There are 700 slokas, so if you read one sloka every day and understand, it will take 700 days. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you. धन्यवाद आप सभी का।
Thanks to everyone for attending today's session.